Have you ever noticed how something so simple can suddenly make you hesitate when you speak English? You look at the calendar, you know the information clearly, but the moment someone asks you the date, your confidence drops just a little. That tiny hesitation is completely normal, and today we're going to make it disappear together. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily English Hour. I'm Emma, and I'm here with Avid. In this conversation, we're going to talk about how to talk about dates in English in a way that feels calm, natural, and truly usable in real life. And if you enjoy learning English through real conversations like this, feel free to subscribe so you can keep practicing with us every day.
That hesitation really happens to so many people. They know the numbers, they know the months, but putting everything together smoothly feels stressful. Sometimes it's because English says dates differently from their first language, and that difference can create a lot of quiet confusion.
Yes, especially when you're caught off guard. Someone casually asks, "What's the date today?" And suddenly you're overthinking everything. Do you say the month first or the day first? Do you sound too formal or maybe too casual? I've seen people answer that question like they're reading from an official document. It's correct, but it doesn't sound like everyday conversation.
Exactly. In real life, people usually keep it simple. They might say, "It's April 5th," or "Today's the 5th of April." The words aren't complicated, but the rhythm matters. When the date flows naturally, the whole conversation feels easier and more relaxed. And that relaxed feeling is important because dates come up more often than we realize.
That's so true. Dates appear everywhere in daily life. You talk about birthdays, meetings, travel plans, work deadlines, or even just casual small talk with friends. When you feel comfortable saying dates, your English suddenly sounds much more natural without extra effort.
Today, we're not going to memorize rules or study charts. Instead, we'll listen, repeat, and feel how dates are used naturally in conversation, just like real people speak every day.
And once you hear those patterns a few times, your brain starts to relax. You stop translating in your head, and the words come out more smoothly. That's when speaking English starts to feel less like a test and more like communication.
Exactly. Confidence grows from these small, everyday moments. And once dates feel easy, you'll notice that many other parts of English start to feel easier too.
Before we go a little deeper, let me pause here for just a moment. If you're still listening, I'd really love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us, which part of saying dates in English feels hardest for you? Is it the order, the pronunciation, or just feeling nervous when you have to say it out loud? Don't worry if it feels uncomfortable right now. If listening feels a little challenging, that's actually a good sign. It means your ears are getting real practice, just like in real conversations, where people speak naturally and don't slow down perfectly for learners.
That's such an important point. In real life, nobody announces that they're about to say a date. It just appears naturally in the conversation. Someone might say, "Let's meet on April 5th," or "The deadline is the 12th," and you have to catch it in the moment. And if you're not used to hearing dates this way, it can feel fast at first.
Exactly. And that's why listening practice like this matters so much. When you hear dates used naturally again and again, your brain slowly stops panicking. Instead of translating word by word, you start recognizing the pattern. For example, when you hear April 5th, your mind doesn't need to think about numbers anymore. You just understand it as a complete idea.
I've noticed that learners often understand dates perfectly when they read them, but when they hear them spoken, it feels different. Spoken English blends sounds together, and dates are no exception. That's why we're focusing on listening and conversation, not just rules on paper.
Let's think about a very common situation. Imagine someone asks you, "When is your birthday?" That question sounds simple, But answering it smoothly takes practice. You might say, "It's on July 22nd," or "My birthday is July 22nd." Both are natural, and both sound friendly in everyday conversation.
And notice how the tone stays relaxed. You're not listing information, you're sharing something about yourself. When you treat dates like part of a story, not a test answer, your English sounds much more natural. People respond to that warmth, even if your grammar isn't perfect.
That's such a helpful mindset. English doesn't need to sound perfect to sound good. It needs to sound comfortable. Dates are just another chance to practice that comfort. As you listen today, try repeating a few examples quietly to yourself. You don't need to say them out loud yet. Just let your ears get familiar with the rhythm.
And remember, everyone struggles with something small in a new language. For some people, it's pronunciation, for others, it's listening speed, and for many, it's dates. The good news is that this gets easier very quickly with exposure.
So tell us in the comments, do you usually think in your own language first when saying dates? Or are you starting to think directly in English? Your answer might help other learners realize they're not alone. And keep listening with us. Little by little, these everyday details will start to feel natural and familiar. Let's imagine a very normal situation. Someone at work leans over and casually asks you about a meeting, not in a serious way, just friendly, just practical. They say, "So when is the meeting again?" And right there, the date becomes part of a real moment, not a language exercise. This is where many people feel that small tension in their chest. You know the date, you've seen it on your calendar, but saying it out loud still feels a bit uncertain.
Yes, and what's interesting is that the difficulty isn't usually the vocabulary. People know the words April, May, 1st, 2nd. The challenge is how English naturally connects those words together when spoken. In real conversation, dates are rarely spoken slowly or carefully. They come out smoothly, almost like one sound.
Exactly. Instead of thinking of it as separate pieces, many English speakers hear April 5th as one unit. It flows. And when you listen for that flow, it becomes much easier to understand and repeat. If you try to pronounce every word too carefully, it can actually sound less natural.
That's such a good point. Sometimes learners try so hard to be correct that they forget to be natural. But spoken English is forgiving. People care more about understanding you than about perfect form. When you say, "The meeting is on April 5th, nobody's judging the structure. They're just happy they know when to show up.
And that idea applies everywhere. Think about planning something with friends. Someone might say, "Are you free this weekend?" And you answer, "I'm busy on March 9th, but free after that." It's simple, direct, and very human. Dates become part of your story, not a formal announcement.
Yes, and when dates are part of a story, your voice naturally changes. You sound more relaxed, your intonation becomes more natural. You stop sounding like you're reading, and you start sounding like you're speaking. That shift makes a huge difference in how confident you feel.
That's another common moment, is talking about the past. Someone asks, "When did you start this job?" And you say, "I started on June 15th. That answer feels calm and complete. There's no rush, no pressure. Just information shared naturally.
And notice how English often uses on with specific dates. Not always, but very often. On April 5th. On June 15th. When you hear it again and again, it starts to feel automatic. You don't need to memorize it. Your ears will do the work for you.
That's why listening is so powerful. Even if you're not speaking yet, your brain is quietly learning the rhythm. It's learning what sounds normal and what feels off. Over time, that internal sense guides your speech without you even thinking about rules.
And suddenly, one day, you answer a question about a date without hesitation. You don't plan it, you don't rehearse it, you just say it. That moment feels small, but it's actually a sign of real progress.
Yes, those small moments add up. Every time you hear dates used naturally, your confidence grows a little stronger. And before you know it, something that once felt stressful becomes completely ordinary.
That's how language learning really works, not through pressure, but through repetition, comfort, and real connection. Dates are just one piece of that bigger picture.
There's another moment where dates quietly appear, and people don't always notice it right away. It's when plans change. Someone says, "Actually, can we move it to next Friday?" And suddenly, the date isn't just information anymore. It's part of a small decision happening in real time. That's when English can feel a little faster, a little less predictable.
Yes, because now you're not just repeating a date, you're reacting to it. You might pause, think for a second, and then say something like, "Next Friday works for me," or "I can't do the 12th, but the 13th is fine." Those responses feel very natural, but they require comfort with dates.
Exactly. And notice how flexible the language is. You don't always repeat the full date in a formal way. Sometimes you shorten it, sometimes you refer to it indirectly, and sometimes the other person already understands the context. That shared understanding makes the conversation feel lighter.
I've noticed that when learners realize this, they relax a lot. They stop thinking they must always say the full, perfect version of a date. Instead, they listen to what the other person says and respond naturally. That back and forth is what real conversation sounds like.
Let's take another everyday example. You're talking about travel. Someone asks, "When are you leaving?" And you say, "I'm leaving on August 3rd." That answer feels clear and calm. But later, you might just say, "I leave on the 3rd." Both sound natural, depending on the situation.
Yes, context does a lot of the work for you. When everyone knows which month you're talking about, you don't need to repeat it. English speakers often rely on shared context instead of repeating details. It's one of those things that makes conversation feel efficient and friendly.
And this is where listening really helps again. The more you hear dates used in different ways, the more your brain understands what sounds normal. You start to sense when a short answer is enough and when a full date feels better. That sense doesn't come from rules, it comes from exposure.
Another interesting moment is when people talk about future hopes or loose plans. Someone might say, "sometime around October 10th," or "probably mid-June." These aren't exact, but they're very common. Dates don't always have to be precise to be useful.
That's such a good point. English allows a lot of softness around dates. Words like around, about, or early make your speech sound more human and less rigid. Life isn't always exact, so language doesn't need to be either.
And when you allow yourself that flexibility, the pressure drops. You're no longer worried about saying the perfect date. You're focused on communicating your idea. That shift is what makes speaking feel easier.
So, as you listen, notice not just the dates themselves, but how people react to them. Listen to the tone, the pauses, and the small adjustments. Those details show you how dates live inside real conversations. Over time, you'll start using them the same way, without forcing anything.
Exactly. Comfort grows quietly. And one day, you'll talk about dates without even realizing you once found them difficult. That's when you know the language is becoming part of you.
As we come toward the end of this conversation, I want you to notice something quietly important. Talking about dates doesn't actually require complicated rules. It requires comfort, listening, and a little patience with yourself. That's something many learners forget. They think fluency comes from knowing more rules, but often it comes from feeling less pressure.
Yes, and if you think about everything we've talked about today, dates are just moments in a story. They're connected to plans, memories, changes, and small decisions. When you treat them that way, they stop feeling scary. You're not performing English, you're using it.
And that shift makes a big difference. When you stop worrying about being perfect, your voice becomes calmer, your rhythm improves. Even small mistakes feel less important because the message still comes through. That's how real conversations work.
I've seen so many learners suddenly realize this. One day they say a date naturally without thinking, and afterward they're surprised at themselves. They don't even remember trying. Those moments are small, but they're powerful.
If that hasn't happened for you yet, that's completely okay. Learning happens quietly, little by little. Every time you listen, every time you repeat something in your head, you're building familiarity. And familiarity turns into confidence faster than you expect.
Exactly. And confidence doesn't mean never hesitating. It means hesitating less and recovering more easily when you do. Dates are perfect places to practice that kind of calm confidence. They show up often, but they don't need to control you.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We truly appreciate you being here, listening and practicing along with us. If you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Hour so you can continue learning through real, natural conversations like this one.
And we'd really love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us which situation with dates do you want more practice with. Talking about birthdays, appointments, travel plans, or something else. Your comments help guide future conversations.
And finally, be kind to yourself. Language learning isn't a race. It's a series of small human moments where things slowly start to feel familiar. One day, you'll say a date naturally and won't even remember that it once felt difficult.
Keep listening, keep noticing the rhythm, and keep enjoying the process. You're doing better than you think. We'll see you again very soon, and until then, take care and keep practicing.